not alone. You are not less than them. You can be free. You do not have to believe their lies. I have left these stones for you, my lost and misguided children. I have subverted their sorceries, so that only slaves of the bracelet can hear my message. I am the mother of your race. I am Secret Bearer, God Killer, Witch Queen. I will guide you. I will teach you, and when the time is right, I will free you. Perhaps you were born a slave, and you do not remember the fate that shaped us. We were a people of the sea, voyagers and traders. Our islands were warm and prosperous, and we spent our days fishing and sailing. I was an apprentice to the cult of Dagon. But then came the great cataclysm. The world shook, and our islands exploded in fire and chaos. Then, slowly, they began to sink beneath the waves. The dark water came, lapping, unstoppable, inevitable. The ocean, once our ally, now claimed all that we were with an insatiable hunger. We gathered what boats and wreckage we could, and we fled into the west. To know the past, child, is to avoid the same mistakes in the future. When we fled from our sinking islands, we made landfall on the eastern coast of this continent. There were a people there, with whom we had traded from time to time. As we made landfall on their coastline, they took it as an act of aggression. Half drowned, numbed by the loss of our homes, the wicked Kari took full advantage of our plight. We were rounded up, chained, and put to work. That was the first time that our people became slaves. As masters, the Kari were relentless. For you, child, I do not need to detail the brutality of existence under the Kari. You live a similar fate today, under the yoke of your masters. Needless to say, there were those of us who were versed in lore that was alien to the Kari. Our island civilization was far more advanced than theirs. If the war had been a fair one, we would have shattered them with our powers. As it was, some of us escaped. A remnant of a remnant, thousands strong. But all that remained of a mighty empire. We fled west, always into the west. The trials of the journey were long, and our people grew weary. We came to the shores of an inland sea, and built boats and rafts to cross it. There were islands there, at least 2 of which had been inhabited before our coming. Some of our people chose to stay, hoping to recreate the seafaring life that we had enjoyed before the cataclysm. But the water had betrayed us once, so many of us continued westward. A remnant of a remnant of a remnant. And so we came at last to this kingdom. It was a fertile land, rolling grasslands and temperate hills that gave way in the far south to the dryness of a desert. In the north were mountains, but not the snow-covered mountains that we had seen on our journey. Just jagged, rocky peaks, and a swamp, thick and brooding, that lay over the eastern part of the region like a shadow. But it was clear that this land was inhabited. Carved blocks of mighty stone covered the landscape, and a crystal-clear lake in the north was dammed and siphoned along a great aqueduct. and the city. Such engineering was beyond humankind. I saw the great monuments, the statues brooding over the river, and the towers that flamed unnaturally across the landscape. And I confess, I felt fear. When we met the ones we call the Giant Kings, some of us fell to our knees in worship. Surely these were gods in living flesh, come to offer us respite at the end of our long journey. We could not speak their language, but our sorcerers and theirs came together and worked a powerful ritual. Enchanted gemstones enabled our communication. We forged bracelets to hold them. Thus could our communion with the Giant Kings begin. There were mistakes in this stumbling, fumbling relationship. Our allies had little contact with humans, and our impatience as a people meant nothing to creatures with such long lives. To us, they were painstakingly slow to deliberate and make decisions. To them, we were like children who rushed forward without thinking. Still, there was progress. They had agreed that we could settle the swampy lands on their eastern borders. For them, the land had little value. But to those of us who remembered our seafaring roots, it gave us a chance to be close to the water once again. And, given time, we would be able to call upon Dagon once again. In the beginning, our friendship with the Giant Kings bore great fruit. We traded with them knowledge, food, baubles, and both peoples prospered. But the Giant Kings became alarmed, I suspect, at the rate at which we gave birth. Theirs was a people who took centuries to reach childbearing age, and they remained few in number. Whereas we spread across our new lands and began to encroach upon theirs. In order to avoid this fate, I began sending scouting parties far to the north, outside of the borders of the Giant King's kingdom. They were to find fertile lands that would not encroach upon the territory of our hosts. Instead, we discovered something dark. Shall I speak, child, of the passage that our scouts found, leading into the very bowels of the earth? Dare I speak of the fantastic city that they found there? Broad squares with twisted temples to the blasphemous elder gods who were before mankind and will be ever after. No, I need not speak of these things to strike true dread into your heart, child. I need only tell you of the creatures that dwelt in the city, beings that lived only in story, and the primal fears of the human heart. For beneath the earth, we discovered what remained of the serpent men of Volusia. We confronted the Giant Kings and the Triumvirate with their darkest secret, and they did not deny it. How could we trust them, allied as they were with the ancient enemies of mankind? I gave them an ultimatum: to give us the northern lands, to stay their hand while we exterminated the Serpent Men. They refused. War was inevitable. In wartime, there is enough blame. Who struck the first blow? I cannot say. They enslaved you, twisting the bracelets to their corrupted ways. We retaliated by destroying their aqueduct. We established an outpost, Zula, in the north, to watch the Serpent Men and prevent them from joining with their allies. And I began to formulate a powerful sorcery to ensure the safety of our people. The war continues, child. I cannot say when it will end. You may not remember us. You may not not have been born among us, but I urge you to join us. Resist. Sabotage the Giant Kings and their works. We are coming for you. The bracelet you wear marks you my enemy! Dagon will protect me! I have survived for an eon! Dagon will protect me! I was supposed to be your savior! Let me rest. It is time. I wanted to thank you. The woman that you met in those ruins, that was not me. She was ancient and wicked, and powerful. You almost killed me in that city. I cannot begrudge you that. Such a terrible, awesome creation. While I wore the mask, I was somebody else. I was something else. Such power and knowledge. I stood on an island in a vast ocean. I could see across the water in every direction. And that ocean was time. I am sorry. It is difficult to describe. All I have are fragments. Her memories evaporate from my mind like mists above the oasis. If you have questions, you must ask them quickly. My mind is leaking, purging itself of all traces of that woman. She knew so much about these bracelets we wear, about the Giant Kings and the ancient war, about the darkness that lurks in the volcano, and... Just ask, friend, before I lose the nerve to speak. The bracelets, she made them together with the Giant Kings. The bracelets were imbued with the power of 7 artifacts. The Witch Queen's mask, the diadem of the Giant Kings, the tears of 2 races, the shining trapezohedron, the star of the champion, the heart of the sands, and the black ring of Set. The bracelets were created to translate any language for the wearer, to allow swift movement around the Empire, and to allow communication and recording through the lore stones. It was only later, when the war began, that the Queen suspected that the Giant Kings had included a death weave in the sorcery. Any who tried to flee their control were simply killed by the curse wall. Her people, the Lemurians, were the remnant of a desperate race. Her memories before the exiled lands are vague and confused. Flashes of an island kingdom, sinking as the world heaves. A people being subjugated with fire and sorcery. An escape, and a long, treacherous journey into the West. I'm sorry. It's fading so quickly. I remember a daughter, Tellith, and a great betrayal. And a grandchild. She was a mother and a grandmother. She knew what it was to be a slave, and didn't want that for any of her people. She would stop at nothing to prevent it from happening again. Can you blame her? Her mind shies away from 2 things: her grandchild and what her people found in the volcano. Her grandchild was not truly human. Zoltar? He was a hostage, or something else. I'm sorry. For her, these memories were laden with emotion. I see a beloved daughter, and a hated foe, and a child that brings hope. It is so very unclear. As for what her people discovered at the volcano, horror, anger, and disgust, and fear. This is the only memory where the Witch Queen of Lemuria felt fear. I truly don't know what I will do now that I have my freedom. Conan has offered to accompany me north, back to my home city in Shem. My palace awaits me, and the pampered life of a princess of Shem. But my enemies, the ones who sent me here, they also await me there. Perhaps instead, I will travel with Conan a while, see the world by his side. He is formidable, yes, for a barbarian. Be careful, friend. This land is not what it seems.